I didn't want you to be part of that. Listen, I'll be like this. I'm here.
Okay, attention, please. I'm gonna repeat this one more time to the people that are here.
I didn't want you.
Welcome to Community Board 13 monthly general board meeting. Every monthly board meeting includes a public speaking session. If you signed up, you have 2 minutes of speaking time to talk whatever you choose. We have a long list of speakers. In order to accommodate everyone who has signed up, all speakers, the time limit will be strictly enforced, and I mean strictly enforced. Speakers should be respectful of others. We want people to be heard, and they cannot be heard if people are chanting, yelling, screaming, cheering, booing, etc. Holding up signs is perfectly acceptable. Cross conversations will not be tolerated. If you wish to have a private conversation, please go outside the auditorium. Keep in mind that we are guests of the hospital and must behave accordingly. Like the head of security said, there are people who are being operated on. There's sick people here, we have to respect that. Any person who does not obey these rules will be asked to leave and will be escorted from the premises if needed. Leonard Robertson, can you please lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance?
Sure. With the flag. Right there? Very good. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We're going to be moving into the public session now. And the way this is going to work, I'm going to call 3 names at a time. When your name is called, please go to the podium. Okay, and be reminded that you're going to have 2 minutes and 2 minutes only to speak. Okay, the first names is Ike Dweck, Christopher D. Greif, Peter Seir. I say, there is no cheering. I quick? No. Your name?
Peter, thanks here.
Go ahead.
Hello, Coney Island. My name is Keita St. Cyr. I've worked in Coney Island since 2007 in a variety of different capacities, including on the boardwalk at Little Star and at Coney Island, USA as a fire leader. I mostly have a couple of questions for the representatives of the casino. One of them is, in the previous meeting, they mentioned increasing West 12th Street to 4 lanes of traffic, and that 1 lane would come from the lot that Thor Equities currently owns. There are businesses on either side. Dino's Wonder Wheel is on one side and Coney Island USA is Landmark Building on the other. How do they plan on extending that lane? That's a question. Question number 2, at the first meeting, there was a claim that available jobs at the casino would be union positions that pay $30 an hour. Most of the current job listings at the Saratoga Casino, their flagship operation, are for $12 an hour plus tips, or $11 an hour plus tips, or $16 an hour, with the exception of some part-time positions and a few salary positions that are not union jobs. If that's the case there, why would it not be the case here? And my third question, what happens to the small businesses that exist in the footprint of this proposed casino? Thor Equities does not own all of that land. What happens to the businesses that are currently there? What happens, or Donazita, or any of the other businesses that currently occupy that space? I am so nervous, I'm sorry. And a note on behalf of Miss Coney Island 2025, Obsidian Observed, who couldn't be here for health reasons. She says, during my campaign for Miss Coney Island, I went up to folks around the amusement area and asked, what's the first thing you think of when Coney Island comes to mind? And their answers were all spoken with eyes full of joy and wonder. Family fun, history, sideshow, tradition, the Mermaid Parade, beach days, sharing classic good times with my kids. And then I asked, when I say casino, what comes to mind? And the answers were
That's
disappointment.
You're over. That's it. Thank you.
No.
No.
The next set of three people are gonna be Jack Sullivan, Stephen Dema, Adam Rin.
I'll just let you leave.
Yeah.
Don't give me a call.
Good, Jack.
People are speaking. Let that happen.
Hello, my name is Cyclone Jack Sullivan. You may have been unfortunate to see my face at Stillwell Avenue Station for the last 3 years. I've worked various jobs at Coney Island since 2013, including at Smorgasburg at the Art Walls venue, which another thing that was killed by Thor Equities. I think it was brought up at the last one of these in-person meetings, was looking at the states of other areas that are affected by casinos, prominently Atlantic City, which if you get off the boardwalk is an absolute disaster. It is a decrepit. It's awful. That could be us next, but you don't even have to look as far as Atlantic City. You could look at Atlantic Avenue. You go up and down Atlantic Avenue and you will see the same Thor Equities White Horse logo covering the windows of former business fronts that were bought out, that were killed, that were destroyed by the very same developers, so-called, that would want to do this thing. I want to build this casino here, and if they even want to build a casino, because one of the measures that's on here is what to do with these properties if the casino doesn't get verified. If you don't get licensed here, what's going to happen with it? The same thing Thor Equities does everywhere they go. They destroy things, they wreck things, they level buildings to build more buildings that will never be occupied, never be used. You have no use to the community, no use to anybody. Same thing they do every single time. It's copy and repeat. Joseph Sitt, the head of Thor Equities, bought an $11.6 million house to avoid paying taxes. In the year that happened, that was the most expensive house purchase. He doesn't live there. He bought it to avoid paying taxes. What makes you think he gives a damn about this community at all? If you do believe that Thor Equities has your best interest in mind, I have a bridge to sell you. Thank you very much.
Next.
My name is Stephen Dema. I was born in Brooklyn and raised in Marine Park, and I've been obsessed with Coney Island my entire life. I've essentially raised my family out in Coney Island. My kids are 13 and 15 now, and this is the only place they love. They know that I've taught them to love their city, to respect their city. They love New York City. And if you ask them what makes New York City great, they would say Coney Island. When I look around the room, I'm so nauseous and sick to my stomach, and I see, I'm sorry to be, I don't want to be cynical, but it's hard, especially nowadays. When I look around and I see this woman giving instructions to people, I don't, and there's one woman saying, like, look at the people that are for this are not the same color as you. I don't understand why it's such an evil thing to sort of say. There's people in this room that have worked years and years that are people of color and are not people of color, that have supported Coney Island and created a space, a safe place for people to come. I won't go into the history of Coney Island. All I want to say is today, it never ceases to amaze me how developers, if they only understood, if they came into a community and supported it and celebrated it and preserved it, that people would come. That old stupid saying from the movie, if you build it, they will come, does not refer to a casino. It refers to protecting a community in New York City, a community that makes New York City the great city that it is. And I don't know if you've ever seen the movie Dominic Recchio, but I don't know where the Williams-Sonoma was. I don't know, that never came. But, and listen, I just want to thank community boards, it's so important. And I just want to thank this community board for protecting the community.
Okay, that's it, Jack. I mean, Stephen, excuse me. Hey, Adam?
I'll be reading an excerpt from the National Amusement Park Historical Association on the development proposal for Coney Island. On behalf of the National Amusement Park Historical Association, we advocate that Brooklyn and the city of New York deny the current proposed development of a casino at Coney Island and not demap the streets in the area. The proposal, if successful, will cause an irreplaceable loss to the worldwide amusement industry, as it will irreversibly alter the personality of the Coney Island Amusement District, and rather than revitalizing it, will lead to its ultimate demise. With the proposed development, visitors and patrons would be blocked from experiencing the ambiance and essence of real Coney Island amusements, the boardwalk and the beach. Coney Island is a respite from the heat and bustle of New York City, but that experience will be destroyed with the current proposal that places gigantic towers right in front of the beach. History tells us that if the proposed development is allowed, it will be a death knell for all independent amusements and shop owners in Coney Island. It's well known in the amusement industry that you need to visit Coney Island earlier in the day, as traffic and parking in the neighborhood are a challenge, as the neighborhood exists today. According to the comments made at the Community Board 13 Brooklyn meeting on January 15th, the Coney developers conducted a traffic study that indicated parking would exceed capacity on the island, even including the project's own parking facility. Yet, the design involves demapping some streets that may provide some additional parking. It's ironic that in 1923, the borough constructed 13 new streets in Coney Island to improve access for firefighters and emergency personnel to the amusements and the beach. Yet now, we may be reversing the course by closing and limiting street access to the boardwalk and remaining businesses.
That's it. Next three people is gonna be Pedro Cato, Erica Turner, Jake Turner. Okay, now, after Jake starts, the next three will be Maxim Abada, Michael Fandel, Andrea Smith.
I'll pick it up.
Pedro? Jake, Chad?
Good evening, everyone. My name is Jake Turner. I am a patron of the Boardwalk and a student at Coney Island, USA. Coney Island has always been a place for the people, from the boardwalk to the beach. It's where families come together, where small businesses thrive, and where a rich history of community and culture defines every block. But now we're facing a serious threat to everything that makes Coney Island special, a corporate casino. Let's be clear, this isn't about creating jobs or revitalizing the area, it's about profit. Big corporations see Coney Island not as a community, but as a commodity, a place they can extract wealth from with no regard for the people who live here. The developers and casino executives don't care about our families or our future. They care about one thing: lining their pockets, even if it comes at the expense of this neighborhood. Look at the empty promises they make, the jobs, investments, economic growth. But what really wins when a casino moves in is not the small business owners who've been here for decades, like Williams Candy or Ruby's on the Boardwalk, not the families who worked hard to build their lives in this community. Instead, it's the corporate shareholders and out-of-town investors who will drain our neighborhood of its wealth while leaving us to deal with the fallout, higher rents, more traffic, and a community that feels less like a home and more like a playground for the rich. Corporations love to talk about how much they give back, but let's be real about this. They take more than they give. They take the character of Coney Island and replace it with something hollow. They'll take money out of our pockets, of the working families, and leave behind broken promises. And when the profits stop flowing, they'll pack up and they'll leave, just like they always do. And let's not forget the human cost. Gambling addiction is a business model for these corporations. They thrive on exploiting the vulnerable and creating a system where people lose everything while the house always wins. This isn't the kind of investment our community needs. Coney Island doesn't belong to billionaires or boardrooms. It belongs to the families who live here, both by blood and found. The small business owners who pour their hearts into their work, and the generations who have built this community with this sweat and determination. A casino would strip all away and replace it with corporate greed. Coney Island is not for sale.
Jake, that's it. Quiet, please.
Thank you.
Please respect the rules.
Hi, my name is Erica Turner, and of course I'm against the casino. And To the people that's here, that's for it, I just want you to know, last time we had a meeting, they paid so many people to come out to that meeting. They didn't even speak English. So I hope that you're here because it's for your heart, not because you're being paid. And another thing, over 6,600 people signed a petition to say no to this casino, not only in our community, but in the district, and some people outside of our district. And I want the community board to understand, that's speaking louder than these people that's here just for today. Or was paid to be here just for today. So I'm begging the community board to go with the community, because we already spoke loud enough and said we do not want this in our community. Are you for the community or are you for the developers? That's all we trying to understand. I hope you're for the community and say no to the casino.
No clapping. Please respect the chairperson's rules. That's all I ask. Pedro's not here? Okay. The next three is Maxim Devato, Michael Fandel, and Andrea Smith. Next. Moving on. Ariana Rendon, Jean Petrek, Medalia Cruz.
Wheelchair.
Okay.
Okay, we're gonna bring you the mic. The next three, get ready. Amanda Torado, Brian Rosa, Jean Ross.
Hi, everybody. My name is Jean Petrick. I am a Coney Island resident. Finally, I found an accessible apartment down here and it made me so happy. I would just like to speak as, you know, people with mobility disabilities will be severely affected by this construction. It's not just a simple matter of avoiding an overpass where there's like, you know, stuff going on. They're gonna tear up the main streets and roads to lay pipe. It's a question of having to go 3 and 4 blocks out of your way to go to the bodega, then, or, you know, take an entirely new route with, you know, terrain you're not familiar with to the subway, to the bus stop. It's all torn up. It's extremely difficult, especially if you're in a motorized wheelchair. Beyond that, I would like to say that I really respect and love the small businesses down here. It's been a part of my life ever since I was 10 years old. And I would hate to see a huge corporation entity ruin that. And I'm done, thank you.
Okay, the next group of people is Eddie Watson, Joe DeFeo, Joseph Watson.
Okay, so you heard that, it's Eddie Watson, Joe DeFeo, and Joseph Watson.
We stay behind here.
Yes, hello, I'm Joseph Watson. I am a resident of Coney Island. And it's so sad that this meeting has already started off top heavy with so many people against Coney Island. I'm sorry, against the Coney. But one of the reasons why I realize it is that, you know what, I've not even received any information regarding these meetings at all, except one. The one notice that I got was subject in the title, No to Coney. Okay? And again, that's reflective of what's been going on here. All right, there's a lot of people that's not even aware of what's going on. Okay, my yes to Coney is for the investments in our community. I'm talking about the kids and the young men and women that live in NYCHA, that are renters. Okay, they're not homeowners. Their issues are not with not being able to find parking at Gargiulo. Okay, these people, my people, we need an opportunity. We need a hand up, not a hand out. Okay? One of the things that I realized, even from my own experience, at 17 years old, being a young father, somebody gave me an opportunity. Okay? And that opportunity landed me at ESPN in a mailroom. And people told me, oh, it's a job in a mailroom through a temp agency, no benefits. But guess what? Within 2 months, I'm selling ad space on ESPN2 and actually successfully responsible for the successful, launch of ESPN2. So don't discount small beginnings, even if they say they're small beginnings, because we do know that they're speaking about union jobs. And even if they weren't, the income that they're making is already above, what they're making in their household already. There's so many people out here that's living beneath poverty. Let's talk about that. I don't care about, unfortunately, some people that's been speaking about how.
Joseph, that's it, Joseph. Thank you.
Yes to Tony, yes to the job, yes to Tony. As you can see,
Eddie?
Eddie Watson,
You got it.
and that's my brother, Joseph Watson. And again, I'm yes to Coney. And the reason I say that, because we're talking about what, job, we're talking about growth. I hear people saying, well, what's happening to the small businesses and what's gonna happen to them? But what are they doing for the community now? What are they doing for the community now? We're talking about jobs. Somebody brought up Atlantic City after the pandemic, but what was it before? So I'm saying, let's give it a chance. Let's see what's gonna happen with it. But if we come in here, we say we don't want it, this is gonna happen when we don't know. But nothing's happening to the community now. Who's speaking up for the community now? They talk about gambling addiction, but look at the drug addiction. Who's talking about that? So if we're gonna talk about it, let's talk about it. That's right. So we're talking about jobs, we're talking about growth, we're talking about economics. So that's what I'm saying, yes to Coney, and yes to the job.
All right, okay, the next speaker, thank you. Gene Ross?
Hello, my name is Jean Ross. I'm a Brooklyn homeowner, a 4-season visitor to Coney Island, and economist by trade. I want to start by saying there are a lot of people who've been paid to be in this room, and a lot of consultants that have testified on the casino issue. They've all been paid to do that. I'd encourage the community board and other elected officials to set that aside and look at what we know from the research. Casinos and their business model depend on keeping customers inside and gambling. That's how they make their money. Everything from the architecture to the ventilation system to the addictive nature of slot machines is designed to block the passage of time, keep people inside and keep them gambling. By their very nature, casinos discourage the vibrant street life that brings the community to life. Casinos make money because the rapid bet slot machines, which are the source of about 3/4 of their revenues, are highly addictive. And that addiction increases the prevalence of problem gaming. It also keeps people from going outside, patronizing local businesses. Walk inside any casino and you'll find that all of the franchises, the retail, the restaurants, are national chain enterprises. They're not mom and pop businesses. They compete with mom and pop businesses by taking away their customer base. Because of this, one data-based academic study found no evidence of casino-related boost in local sales tax revenues in casinos in 39 states over a 15-year period. The same study found that local economies with casinos experienced lower employment growth than economies without casinos. The spread of legalized gaming to tribal lands, urban horse tracks, online gaming, casinos, in struggling communities has oversaturated the market. And if you look at a lot of research, Federal Reserve Bank and others will tell you that the Northeast Mid-Atlantic region is oversaturated.
Jane, that's it.
Thank you. Do everything you can to
The next
preserve Coney Island.
The next speakers is gonna be Jesus Hernandez, Emily Oriole, and Janessa Rose Perez.
All right, Joe DeFeo first, before they come up.
Just to prepare us, the next three speakers are gonna be Patrick Wall, Anna Daisy Durantani, and Roman Gittes. So get prepared to come up. Go ahead.
When was the last time someone waxed poetic about a casino? You look at the arts, you look at the culture, you talk about Coney Island. You talk about the people, you talk about the culture, you're not talking about building up a casino. You know what? I've worked with folks in NYCHA houses. I get it. I'm about jobs. I volunteer my time trying to bring small businesses to the community. I volunteer my time working with the leadership in NYCHA, working with national and local businesses to try to bring jobs that are sustainable. Our young people, sustainable jobs, sustainable. We don't have any because we're not working together. Why are we working? Why are we working to build up the pockets of developers and people from out of town when we should be working together? We are Coney Island, we are Bed-Stuy, we are Brooklyn, we are everything. So bring this energy to the jobs that people want, that people need. And if I can quote a poet, if you don't win, you go broke.
Okay, Emily Oriole. Okay, Janessa Rose Perez. Next three people, like I said, Patrick D. Wall, Anna Daisy, Roma Giddis.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you, senior board members. My name is Patrick Wall. I'm the general manager for Coney Island USA. We are a not-for-profit arts organization that has operated for 45 years on the corner of West 12th and Cirque Avenue in the center of this entire conversation. My respect to the Watson brothers. I understand what you're saying, Keith. I see you too. I want nothing else than for jobs to come to Coney Island. I have worked for 16 years at a struggling business trying to survive. I want jobs to come to this community. I love this community since I was 19 years old. I'm 52 now, and I've worked here that entire time. I love Coney Island and I love its people. I live on 37 in Bayview. I'm part of this community. I want jobs to come. It's already happening as best as it's been able to. Dino's, Luna Park, my own business. We employ people from this neighborhood, but this casino is not that. We're asking for a giant fort to come and plop down right in the middle of our entire amusement zone across 3 blocks. That's crazy. That's crazy. It's going to keep people locked in. They've got food, they've got accommodations, they've got entertainment. They're never going to come outside. They're never going to give us money. Where's the money? Where's the jobs? Where's the revenue? They're going to bring an outside contractor to come in and build it. They're not from here. They're not going to give you unskilled labor jobs. They're not going to give you union jobs because we live on the poverty line. We're all poor here. They don't want us. They're going to bring people from the outside to work in their big thing, and we're going to be standing out here having ushered them in while we suffer, while we continue. And whatever's left, whatever potential is left, will go away if we say yes to this. Community will please vote no for everything to do with this. Thank you.
Roman, and also Anna or Daisy Granati.
Okay, thank you. Good evening, everyone. I'm here tonight to call out what many of us already know, that these casino developers don't care about Coney Island. They've been buying up real estate in Coney Island for years and have done nothing, absolutely nothing to help this neighborhood thrive. As many of you can see by the vacant lots that have stood empty for years, if they truly cared, they wouldn't need a casino license to invest in our community. They could have built something useful already, something the community needs, but instead they kept these lots vacant, waiting for an opportunity to dangle this so-called $200 million community fund in front of us like a prize. And let's be clear, that $200 million only comes if they get their casino license. What happens if they don't get it? Do they have a plan to help Coney Island then? No. They'll pack up, they'll leave, just like everyone else who has promised to help us, and we'll be left to deal with the damage they've caused. They don't want to help us, they want to exploit us and our neighborhood. People have tried to revitalize Coney Island for too long, and we are left picking up the pieces when their plans ultimately failed. This isn't just about traffic or parking or strained resources, though those are all real and devastating consequences. This is about trust, and these developers have failed to earn ours. They haven't engaged with the public, they haven't answered our questions, and they haven't been transparent about the long-term consequences of their plans. And now they want to bulldoze our streets, disrupt our neighborhood, and gamble with our future? Also, they can make money off of us? Come on, guys, Coney Island deserves better than this. We deserve developers to see us for people, not just a way to make money. We deserve investments that strengthen our community, not projects that tear it apart. I urge you to reject this proposal and stand with us, your neighbors of Coney Island, not the billionaire developers who don't know us, don't care about us, don't live here, and have no idea what it means to be a Coney Islander.
Okay. The next three people is going to be Jennifer Thorpe Moscone, Robin Lynch, Marie Merville Shazada. Please step up. Thank you.
I'll try not to repeat what's been said already, but I do want to emphasize that with or without the casino, we have to reject this plan. Demapping the streets would force several beloved small businesses to shut down, which would be a tragic loss for the community. We love our small businesses, and if anything, we want more of them, not fewer. Granting air rights would permit buildings completely out of character and scale for the neighborhood, looming like a grotesque monolith above all else. We should not permit this, and instead we should keep the character of our neighborhood intact. Now, to the casino. The casino would, by design, create a structure designed to keep people inside, giving their money to the already rich, rather than supporting our local small businesses. It would destroy our culture. The casino would also drive up rents in the neighborhood, forcing the few small businesses that survive the demapping to close due to affordability. It would also increase property taxes, forcing many local residents out of their homes, and force those who rent in the neighborhood to not be able to afford that either. To be clear, those in the community sharing my perspective are not saying that we want nothing built. We want more small businesses and other additions that would improve the neighborhood. A movie theater, a bowling alley, more affordable restaurants. Look to what Industry City has done with its vacant lots. They created spaces for small local artists, vendors, and food and drink establishments, as well as spaces that can host events like the New York Hot Sauce Festival, book fairs, and food festivals. All of these would add to the culture in the neighborhood rather than harming it. All of these would create good jobs. And all of these would offer places that everyone can go and enjoy, adults and children, which a casino cannot say. Please, community board, if you truly love this community, say no to the casino, no to the demapping, and no to the request for air rights. Thank you.
Marie?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Hi, everyone. My name is Marie Merville Shazada. I'm a community organizer. I also have a community nonprofit over here in Altadena Community Services, which is on Mermaid and 17. I first want to ask for those Dino Wheel and Coney Island, USA. I'm not against you. I understand what you're saying, but I want to ask you this. What have you offered the community? What job training? What community investment have you made? What is your starting salary? Why haven't you sat down with the Coney and collaborate with for the community, the people out here? I have a nonprofit. I have children who have disabilities. Can we come to you? You haven't come to me. Now, for the Coney. Coney Island is a great community, but there's a huge divide. There's a difference. It literally reminds me economically and culturally segregated area. In layman's term, it is a poor Black community from Stillwell to West 36. I dare you guys to walk down with me from Brighton all the way to West 36 and you will see the divide. This week, we celebrated Martin Luther King, and yes, I will say, there is a difference. Us Black people who are in the NYCHA houses don't even know about the Coney. You guys, in Community Board 13 has failed to let people in the NYCHA houses know. Because I was the one walking from school, from building to building to building, talking to people, from small shops, talking to people, and they want it. I have a family business, I have a few family businesses out here. They're not making money. Right now, I've walked into so many businesses, nobody is there. We only make money 2 months out of the year. What do you guys have to offer us? We used to have a movie theater till the last lady was here on West 29, which is now Pastor Ebony's church. There used to be hotels on West 8, on West 31st, which used to turn to a hospital. There's nothing there now. What are you guys
That's
doing?
it. Thank you very much.
Okay. Please, are you all ready?
No.
All right, then.
The next three, please, no cross conversations.
Thank you.
Follow the rules. Let's be adults here.
Thank you.
Okay, the next three people are gonna be Julia Danley, Deborah Packer, Rachel Elizabeth Morrison.
Deborah Packer, that's all we hear.
Robert, you were online, okay, go ahead.
Oh, okay.
Robert, she was online. Maria.
Hi, I'm Robin and I'm a born and raised Brooklynite who loves Coney Island. I will say, I live near it, I'm not in it, so those who have their residential concerns will be able to speak it better than I will. I'm just gonna talk about my attachment to the music district and I do not want the casino, and having attended the previous hearings, it seems like a majority of the community doesn't want it either, again, based on those hearings. I stand by those who are concerned about increased crime, congestion, and other safety concerns that this casino would bring to their doorstep. And I can speak for myself and my entire family when I say this development would drive us all away, and we would have to break our tradition of going here every summer for decades and generations. This is supposed to be a place for families to make memories, and a casino is not a family-friendly solution to bringing people to the amusement district and Coney Island altogether. In short, I think you're gonna be driving people like me away, not luring me in. I do also find issue with the design being built over top the Coney Island USA building, which hides it rather than exposing it and prevents people from even recognizing that it's there. And I feel that they've done more to preserve Coney Island's history than Thor Equities has or ever will. I'd rather stick to getting in a white painted car on the Wonder Wheel to see the view that it has to offer instead of having it blocked off by this proposed building. I urge you guys to vote no to the casino and help us preserve the amusement district, and I greatly appreciate you considering the wishes of fellow New Yorkers like me. Thank you.
Next three, Julia Danley, Deborah Packer, Rachel Elizabeth Morrison. After that, it's gonna be Benjamin Myerson, Kiyoshi Shiriyangi, and Brooke Cronin. So get yourself prepared.
Hi, my name is Deborah Packer, and I've been in Coney Island for a very long time. Very long time. Graduated from Abraham Lincoln High School in the 70s, the early 70s, that is. So I remember the times where there were lots and there were bungalows. And as you can see, the bungalows are gone and the lots are gone. You can walk down 15th Street and what do you see? You might think that you're on Park Avenue. The thing is that Coney Island has changed over the years. Coney Island will continue to change, whether you want it to or not. It is going to change. These big buildings that are here, did they ask you about that? Did they ask you your permission? At least the Coney is asking you. They're asking you, so they're saying, let us sit down and let's see what we can do together. Someone mentioned about being together. So being together, that's what you want something, then speak what you want. Okay, standing here and yelling and hollering and things like that, no, yes, just if you say no, no means no, you're getting nothing.
Right.
We don't know what you might get, but you have to at least give it a chance. The conversation needs to be had. Thank you.
Right, yeah, no clapping. Didn't get it, no good. No good. Well, everybody's gonna get a gold star here at the end of the evening, it's only good.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Rachel Elizabeth Morrison, and I just celebrated my 37th year in Coney Island. This is not directed to the developers who are not capable of caring about us due to their greed and deceitfulness, both taught and inherited. It is not for the people who continually betray their own self-interest and community to rally behind toxicity, nor is it for anyone that can be bought. These individuals are beyond help. When the systems that protect them fall, they will receive the consequences they deserve. This is for the people, the salt of the earth, those who hold the spirit of Coney Island within them and nurture it. Remember who you are. Remember what you descend from. Remember that most of the wealthy and powerful use the same systems the developers are against you every day. Remember that all skin folk and kinfolk, and I'm talking to everybody in this room when I say that. Everybody in this room. Use your discernment. Understand and navigate their protocols and regulations. Stay above board. Honor your contracts. Know when corrective actions are required and use them with discretion. Don't become your enemy. Don't allow your trauma to make you a traumatizer. Be better, heal and atone. Put the differences that you can, because we can't put all of them, aside. To those who may feel lost and alone in this world, because for some, the people raised closest to us understand us the least. Believe that the community you belong to is waiting for you and will make itself known to you. For now, protect and defend the one that you're in. No to the Coney Island.
Benjamin Myerson, Piucci, and Brooke Crowley.
Good evening. I am here today primarily as a teacher who's taught in Coney Island for the last 14 years. I'm here to speak about the future of the almost 2,000 children and adults that I have taught in Coney Island. Most of my students' first jobs are in the amusement parks. Their after-school walks usually bring them to the beach. Their eyes light up when they learn about the rich history that exists in the space around them, a history which has already been allowed to have shadows cast over it by structures that aren't designed for everyone's access or enrichment. I think we can all agree that Coney Island needs more jobs, financial stability, access to emergency services, safety, accessibility, and crime reduction, all crucial investments to the future. These investments, however, will not be ascertained by the construction of a casino. In reality, they will be significantly hindered for the foreseeable future by the demolition of more of that history and the eventual construction of a place that has been statistically and historically shown to cause no long-term benefits to communities. We need to think about the future of young adults and children, a future that will be undeniably impacted by the construction of establishment whose primary function is to generate revenue for itself. The future of Coney Island's youth should not be an investment in a massive structure that disconnects them from more of their history and limits their accessibilities and opportunities, but an investment in them, their enrichment, and more resources for their benefit. The last thing we need is to cast another shadow on the future by making a mistake today. We create a better future by reflecting on past mistakes and changing how we move forward. Let's teach our youth and our children by our example that we can learn from the mistakes of the past and create a better future for everyone. Let's not give away more of what rightly belongs to everyone. Let's not choose financial profit today while so many are afraid of what will be there for them tomorrow.
Good evening, members of the community board. My name is Koichi Shirayama. I live on Mermaid and West 15th Street, a block and a half away from this proposed casino. I want to tell you that I grew up as a child in the 90s, and I was always disgusted with Joe Camel advertisements. And tonight, tonight, you, as community board members, have the ability to take a step in the right direction in killing our local version of Joe Camel. This casino developer has dressed kids up in t-shirts for the Coney. Some of the children have been as young as 4 years old. To me, this marketing of using kids to advertise for a proposed casino is disgusting. I went and got a master's degree in journalism, and I used to teach a class for marketing. And I know when someone is targeting young people for an addictive product like gambling. And that is what this is. You cannot welcome Joe Camel into your neighborhood. That is disgusting. And the lobbyist, Dominic Recchia, who said, well, we took casino off the shirts. We just put the Coney on the shirts. So we're not putting a casino ad on kids. We're just calling it the Coney. That is deceptive. That is completely wrong. And you know it. That's it. And quiet, please.
We have Brooke Crowley. Brooke, if you're not here,
No, the next three, quiet, please. Have a little respect for me. Maria Navarro, Ben Falding, Ed Barnas, or Barnes. Are you Ben?
Ed Barnes.
oh, Ed.
Ed, go ahead, Ed.
I come here not as a resident of Coney Island, but as a habituee of Coney Island. I've been coming here in the fifties when I was a kid. Remember walking to the cool sand under the boardwalk to get to the hot sand of the beach. I've been off and on, and for the last 20 years, I've been coming here regularly. I participated in the Mermaid Parade. I've been to many shows at Coney Island, USA. I enjoy the ambiance. I come to the boardwalk, even in winter, for the atmosphere and the people that are there. I enjoy the music on the boardwalk. I have volunteered at the Mermaid Parade and other events around. I've even marched with a group in front of City Hall years ago against Thor Equities and their plans to destroy the essence of Coney Island by buying up properties, letting them decay, and then knocking them down because they decayed through the neglect. The proposal before the board to demap these 3 streets is hard. It's going to reduce the emergency access to the beach and the boardwalk. If you knock it out, you know, you've only got in the street in front of the roller coaster, because on the other side it's a walk, then the ball field. It's going to make things difficult and dangerous for people. So that is why I respectfully request that the vote to demap the streets will be voted down. Thank you.
Okay, the next 3 people, Jesse Newman, Catherine Koch, and Joe Packer. The 3 after that will be Keith Suba, and somebody just gave me initials there, CB, whoever they are, and Marissa Solomon, the next 3.
All right, let's talk about Thor Equities. Excuse me, I'm sorry. Thor's unprincipled chairman, Joseph Sitt, is currently being sued for millions and millions by multiple stakeholders for defaulting on loans on separate failed properties, with multiple properties going into foreclosure and monetary default in the last 6 months alone. Google it, East Harlem. These developers, they're silent investors and middlemen, get paid through shell companies to construct these properties. They have no lasting stakes in the property's long-term success. They get out of Dodge and move on to their next vampire project. Consider the empty high-rises at Hudson Yards, empty investment shells for foreign billionaires. Hudson Yards just rejected their own casino plan. Now let's talk about the cost of casinos. Economist Earl Grinnells, our leading independent expert on casinos, says the economic and social cost of a casino in a new area heavily outweighs the benefits by more than 3 to 1. State-sponsored casino gambling creates a regressive tax on low-income residents, adding to the area's economic and social problem. A 2016 study by the Nelson Rockefeller Institute of Government warned states that any revenues from casinos often quickly reverts in decline. The casino's minimum wage jobs, maybe 3 not minimum wage jobs, and profits would be overwhelmingly funded by the gambling losses of local residents who will have less money to spend on local businesses, who will lose revenue and jobs as customers will be hermetically sealed inside the casino to drain their pockets. The house always wins. Casinos spread gambling addiction, not problem gambling. Debt, bankruptcies, broken families, embezzlement, sex trafficking, and other crime. The National Council of Problem Gambling estimates 1 in 5 gambling addicts attempt suicide, a rate higher than for any other addiction. Multiple studies show that 35 to 50 of casino gambling revenue comes from pathological addicted gamblers. In other words, the casino industry's business model is dependent upon preying like vampires on people's vulnerabilities, and up to half of funds governments obtain from casinos come from gambling addicts and their families. According to the UConn School of Medicine, the growing gambling epidemic has hit our lower socioeconomic groups the hardest, and the costs are being borne by employers, civic workers, social agencies, and the healthcare system. Encouraging people to lose their money is not a solution to the economic challenges of Coney Island. We should come together. Urge your local politicians.
That's it,
tax
Jesse.
incentives for small
That's it,
businesses.
Jesse. Catherine.
Hi all, my name is Catherine and I am a special education teacher in a public school in District 75 in Brooklyn. I felt so moved listening at the past 2 community board hearings that I signed up to speak as well. I am here on behalf of my slice of life, a teacher and her 12 smart, funny, amazing special education students to allow a microcosmic glimpse into one of the many ways that Coney Island shapes our lives. Thanks to the Community Mayor's Organization, we went to the New York Aquarium in October, and afterwards we ate lunch at Nathan's. It was a chilly day, and I distinctly recall talking with my students about how beautiful Coney Island is at any time of the year. All of us, with our hot dogs or crinkle fries in hand, all of us grateful to have such a unique place for us to go to in the middle of a school day, no less. Just a simple bus ride away. I promised, as long as they work hard and act responsibly, that I would bring my students back in June for another trip to Dino's Wonderville Park. To be honest, I am scared of heights, but I can't say no when my students ask me to go up on that Wonder Wheel with them, holding my hands as we all laugh and scream. That view is like no other. You can see the city, our city, and all of what makes Coney Island, Coney Island. That gorgeous beach, the busy cars, trains, and buses, our historical buildings and boardwalk. And if you squint, you can see all the people that make up our iconic Coney Island. A casino does not belong in that view. A casino does not belong in our community. My students are New Yorkers who deserve to grow up with Coney Island, not Casino Island. We have a historic destination here. We have loving, diverse communities here. We have homes, careers, lives here. To demolish and demap Coney Island in the name of empty promises is to turn your back on the people of Coney Island who are already here. Coney Island is already here and it has a future. In June, I will be up on top of that marvelous Wonder Wheel in one of those swinging red or blue cars if I know my students. And I hope to look out knowing that our community stuck together and that our Coney Island is safe from billionaire developers and people who do not care about preserving, conserving, or respecting our home. Thank you for taking the time to listen to me and the countless other community members say no casino in Coney Island.
Joe? Joe?
Well, thanks, community board, for having this meeting. It's very important as community activists that we do just explore things and open it up to our community, make sure they're informed. And this gives us an opportunity to do that. As a lifelong resident of Coney Island and an active community advocate for over 6 decades, I am compelled to express my enthusiastic support for the Coney Island project. Okay, I call it the Coney Island project because this will transform the initiation that holds immense promise for our community, offering a myriad of benefits that are urgently needed. Coney Island faces significant challenges, from traffic congestion during the summer months to an aging infrastructure that requires immediate action. These issues have long hindered our community's potential for growth and prosperity. The Coney Island presents a crucial opportunity to address these challenges head-on with substantial private investment. The projected billions of dollars to private funding will not only revitalize our infrastructure, including roads, bridges, subways, our boardwalk, and ferries, but also create a wealth of job opportunities and job training programs tailored for local residents. This infusion of resources will breathe new life into our economy. You want me to wait till you finish?
Sorry, I
can wait. No, it's no problem. Can you hold the clock, please?
Yeah, that's right. Just rude. Thank you, community board. Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
I mean, speak up then, Chairman.
Go ahead, Joe. Continue on.
This infusion of resources will breathe new life into our economy, providing much needed support for our community-based organizations and enhancing social services that are vital to our residents. Furthermore, the investment in public education, because I'm an educator, after-school programs and scholarships, which we gave at least 20 when we have a local organization, hoping to get a lot more from the Coney, but college will empower our youth and prepare them for successful futures. As someone who has witnessed the struggles and the aspirations of our community firsthand, I firmly believe that these investments are essential for our long-term growth and prosperity. In conclusion, the Coney has been actively engaged in supporting the Coney Island community even before fully established themselves. They have proved to be honest brokers. This kind of proactive, good faith involvement has been incredible value because, especially in the building trust and positive relationship within our community, the Coney project is not just an opportunity, but a lifeline for Coney Island. It represents a collaborative effort between private investors and our community to create a sustainable growth.
Joe, no, I gave you an extra 20 seconds.
One second.
Corruption.
1 second.
Thank you, okay?
It represents a collaborative effort between private investors and our community to create substantial growth, improve quality of life, and foster a brighter future for generations to come. I urge all stakeholders to support this transformative initiative for the benefit of Coney Island and its residents.
Thank you, Joe. Okay, the next speaker is Keith Super. Yeah. Where is it? Oh, there you are.
And CD, who's CD? CD is here?
Who's CD?
CD.
Good evening, everyone. First, I want to thank the chairman for enforcing the Roberts rules, keeping everyone under control.
Thank you, Keith.
The second
Appreciate
thing, the second thing is I feel appalled by people saying that we're coming out to get paid to do this. If you know Keith Suba, you know Keith Suba has been involved with every project in Coney Island.
Mr. Chairman, I'm sorry to interrupt. The gentleman stepping on the wires, he might trip. We need to fix these wires.
Okay.
Either that or give him a mic.
Right, okay, yeah.
So I would ask that you restart my time, Mr. Chairman.
Okay, all right, we're gonna give it back to him.
Since I was interrupted, thank you for the extra time, sir. So what I would like to say is this, anyone that knows me knows that I've been involved with getting people jobs forever in Coney Island. Nothing to do with the Coney. Second of all, going to my archives. Does anybody know what this is?
It's upside down.
Does anybody know what this is? This was published in 2003 by the Coney Island Development Corporation, Pastor Connie's church, when they had, all those different programs and organizations that came into Coney Island. We had Nate Bliss come in, and they started the Coney Island Development Corporation. So my whole point is this. This has been a plan forever. Not just Joe Six, right? This has been the city's plan. If anyone knows, we know for sure whose ideal it was. It was a man named Horace Bullard, which was my complexion. But they didn't let it happen, right? So now that it's on the way, it's because it's a part of the plan. All the new development, all the new infrastructure work, it's a part of the plan. Now, I haven't heard anyone mention that's on the opposing side about that $200 million. That's what happens. This book goes down. All right. Right? What do you replace it with? What do you replace it with? I hear everyone saying, no. What do we replace it with? Are you willing to take your organization and share it with the people? I don't see half of you people. Somebody get murdered down there in Coney Island marching. You understand? I see a lot of people on the Mermaid Avenue Parade. The Mermaid Avenue Parade, right? People are walking down there scantily clad. Do you think we want our children to see that? I'm gonna get off the mic. You think we want our children to see that? But we have accepted it. So we need to accept the Coney for what they're proposing to do right now.
Okay, next, we have Ms. Marissa Solomon.
It's very clear that the casino developer has no real community support for his plans to replace Coney Island with a massive casino from those that actually live right across the street from where he wants to build this. This is also evident by the over 7,000 people who have now signed our petition against the casino. And this is why, despite his lies about community outreach, there was not even one phone call made to any of the 6,000 residents in Luna Park houses right across the street from the proposed casino site. What can he possibly tell us when every street we have to cross to get in and out of our homes would become a high traffic impact area, when ambulances can't reach our buildings, putting our lives at risk? This is why there was no outreach to the Coney Island USA organization, who sponsors the annual Mermaid Parade and whose historic buildings would be swallowed up by the massive casino towers. And you know, they try to tell us that this is just business, but this is not business. Business in America is supposed to be you build something and you compete against someone else who built something. But Joe Sid hasn't built anything. Instead, he's destroyed many historic buildings in Coney Island. No, what Joe Sid wants is for city government and the community board to rig the rules in his favor again with the street demapping, just as they were previously rigged in his favor with the rezoning in 2009. Joe Sid doesn't want to compete in business. Instead, he is asking government to pick winners and losers and to make his property more valuable at the expense of the investments others have made in the community. Investments like that made by the Buderas family, who have run the Wonder-Wheel Park through thick and thin. Investments made by Zamperla, who opened Luna Park. Investments made by those who built the new residence along Surf Avenue. And the investments and contributions made by thousands of residents and generations of families who have made Coney Island their home. The duty of the community board is to represent the interests of the entire community. The only way for the community board to uphold this duty is to say no to the casino. Thank you.
Okay, the next three people to speak is Katie Dobbins, Jeff Morton, Rob Williams. Don't see them? Okay. The next three is James Pettis, Bailey Keelis, and Obsidian.
What's your name? What's your name? What's your name? Wait.
My name is Bailey Kellis. I am a Brooklyn resident. I am not someone just randomly coming in here to help line a billionaire's pockets. I know some might take me less seriously due to the fact that I'm asked, but here's something that I take very seriously. The children of Coney Island, especially those in the school right across the street from the proposed casino area. This point was raised on the 15th at the last meeting. Children who live there and walk past there to get to and from school will be exposed to addictions of gambling, alcohol, and an increase in drug use. Somebody here mentioned how children can't get into the casino. I can promise you the minute they turn 18, they're going to be stealing from their parents' wallets and running in there. There is no security heavy enough to stop the heavy risk of intoxicated, disorderly gamblers harassing them as well, day, night, year round. Coney Island has been a destination and home for families with the amusement park and beach. Drive all of them out. Once the novelty of this casino wears off, you'll just have a $200 million loss of a deserted building. Because Thor Equities is a billionaire, they're going to take the money and run and leave Coney Island with nothing. No jobs, no extra help around the community, nothing. Vote no on the demapping, vote no on the casino. Thank you.
Okay, that's the end of our public session, and I want to thank all the speakers. Okay, thank you. Now you can applaud. Thank you. Okay, that's it. That's it. Now we're gonna have elected officials speak and or the representatives. Let's call on State Senator Scarlett Sapanton, Rep. Olga Fiore. Okay.
Take a deep breath. Take a deep breath.
Good evening, everyone. Happy New Year. I represent New York State Senator Justice Marcellus Frampton, and I have a couple of announcements to make. Property tax season is here, and we want to remind you that the deadline to apply or recertify for senior citizen homeowner exemption and disabled homeowners exemption will be March 17th, 2025. We're gonna have an event Thursday, February 6th, from 1 to 4 at the Coney Island Library. Okay, so if you're interested in that, please give us a call. If you haven't recertified yet, you would want to come down, but you need a valid photo ID and a copy of your 2023 tax returns. Okay, second event. We have an annual Black History Month event, Black Excellence in Schools, and in partnership with Congressman Hakeem Jeffries. And this is happening February 28th at 6 p.m. at the YMCA. So you can nominate students, scholars, teachers, faculty to be recognized at this event. You could respond to us by Emmanuel@nysenate.gov or call our office at 718-484-3216. Nominations accepted until February 17th. I do have flyers on the back table, okay? Thank you.
Thank you, Olga. Okay, the next person in the elected office positions is Controller Sergey Dupre. Sergey here?
Sergey here?
No.
But is he here now? No, okay.
Okay. Well, no question. Okay, the next person will be Erica Kaufman from Council Member Enid Vernicoff's office.
Good evening and happy new year. I'll make this really quick. I actually have something good to announce that our office just found out about today. There is an app that you could now freeze your EBT card when not in use to prevent any unauthorized transactions. I know there've been a lot of scams going around. So there's a barcode and there's a website. It's www.ebtedge.com. To download the app, I have left the barcodes in the back over there. If anybody needs the website, you can contact our office at any time and we'll provide it. It's a really good safety tool to have. And we're working on a couple of events for the spring and we'll let everybody know. That's it.
Thank you, Erica. Next representative is Zanira Ahmed from Council Member Justin Brannan's office.
Hi, everyone. Good evening. Thank you to Community Board 13 for having me. My name is Zanira Ahmed. I'm Deputy Chief of Staff for Councilman Justin Brennan. I have cards here that have our office information. We just moved to 1915 Mermaid Avenue. So if you or someone you know needs assistance with city agencies, you can always reach out. I also have flyers in their back for our ice skating event. We did this in December. Over 300 kids came one day and then over 400 kids came the other day. So we're expecting a huge turnout. Kids are off from school this week. It's February 18th and 19th from 8 to 11 at the Abe Stark ice skating rink. Thank you.
Thank you, Zanira. The next representative, Brooklyn Borough President's Office, Hassan Chaudhary.
Hello, good evening, everyone. Hassan here from Borough President and also, just two announcements in order of importance. I think they apply to all of Brooklyn, but including City 13. The application for the capital funding, is open. So, if you have any ally in the non-profit space, public school, city agencies too, you can apply for capital funding. It's just for like big projects. For the construction of big projects, so the deadline is Feb 20th. Please let everyone know, the application for the capital funding from the BP office is separate from the city council. So a lot of people get like confused between the two. Same money. It's funny how the money is classified, but that's a two different application process. Second, some of you may be from city and some may not be, but it applies to all of you. The community board application is open. The deadline is Feb 14. We have been making very concerted effort to make sure that young people are adequately represented and their presence is felt in these rooms. So we have the 2 spots open just for the young people between the age of 16 and 18, really. So we lowered down the age from 18 to 16 to encourage the young people to apply. So please let your neighbors know, let your friends know. We really cannot pick young people off the blocks and bring them here. They just need to apply. That's it. They don't need to have like a 2-page resume. Just need to apply. So yeah, application is Feb 14. Please spread the word. Thank you.
I have a question, my son. Have you advertised that 16-year old application, you know, that they can do for high schools?
Across Brooklyn, yeah. All this, you're welcome to add more schools to the list.
I'm in high school, we didn't get it.
You didn't get it at Sheepshead Bay?
I'm in, Sheepshead Bay High School,
Yeah.
professional pathways.
Yeah.
If I would have known that, I would have most of my kids that come in already. We haven't received it yet.
So send it out to Sheepshead Bay and let them.
Well,
Yeah.
maybe to
I'll
all the
let the
principals.
office.
Yeah, to all the principals, that's it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay,
Please spread the word. Thank you.
Okay, before we go on to the next item, I just want to thank the 60th precinct very much for them being there. Give them a big hand, okay? They had an extremely hard job. Okay, extremely hard job. Thank you. Okay, next item on the agenda is the approval of the minutes.
I move that we approve the minutes as written.
Got a second? Joanne seconded. Barbara, give you a minute. Okay, 2 minutes. Okay, roll call.
I don't need a mic. You got you. Anthony Batista.
Here.
Minutes. Thank you. Demetrius Blau. Yes. Gabriel Blinda.
Yeah.
Keisha Bowers.
Yes.
Patricia Brown.
Yes.
Deborah Carter.
Yeah.
Marion Cleaver.
Yes.
Joe Perez. Here, yes. Darlene Davis. Lucy Mujica Diaz.
Yes.
Lolita Divalova.
Yes.
Jennifer Dublin.
Yeah.
Mohammed Al Nagar. Susan Flashenbaum. Olga Ford.
Yes.
Taj Graham.
Yes.
Kalina Grant.
Yes.
Ron Greenberg.
Yes.
Yulun Hanif.
Yes.
Linda Harrison.
Yes.
Jeannie Hernandez.
Yes.
Amaryllis Herrera. Yuri Krasner.
Yes.
Angela Kravchenko.
Yes.
Yelena Machnin.
Yes.
Minnie Mantita.
Yes.
Mark Murnick.
Yes.
Me too. Maria Montalvo.
Yes.
Alan Newman.
Yes.
Pat O'Brien.
Yes.
Robin Harrison.
Yes.
Nadra.
Yes.
Milagros Quillen. Pam Rakowski.
Yes.
Leonard Maurice Robertson.
Yes.
Michael Russo.
Yes.
Jeffrey Sanoff.
Yes.
Fran Schwartz. Tatiana Seago.
Yes.
Pravez Siddiqui.
Yes.
Michael Silverman.
Yes.
Pat Singer. Sheila Small. Yes. Vladislav Spector.
Yes.
Jack Subin.
Yes.
Dennis Gutierrez.
Yes.
Joanne White.
Yes.
Annette Wesley.
Yes.
Pedro Zafar. So Svetlana Zelenskaya.
Yes.
Okay, let's move on to the next part of the meeting. Chairperson's report. We would like to thank Sam Moore and the Coney Island YMCA for allowing us to meet there earlier this month. We would also like to thank the 60th Precinct Community Affairs Officers, Neighborhood Coordination Officers, and Auxiliary Officers for ensuring our safety at our meetings. The Parks Department is working on removing the sand that has accumulated on the boardwalk near Corbin Place and on Bayview Avenue near West 35th Street. The office did not receive any complaints about snow removal or icy streets after this weekend's snowfall. The Department of Sanitation did a good job. Let's give them a hand. That ends my report. Eddie Mark, District Manager's report.
It looks like they took my chair, so I have to stand up here. Real quick, Happy New Year. As you know, they had a New Year's Day plunge, over at Coney Island. There was over 10,000 people that jumped in, I guess, and they raised over $90,000. And we don't know what the final number is, but they did a great job. Also, as our chairperson said, thank you very much for being cooperative with YMCA. It was a difficult time moving people around, and for us, you guys helped out by being civil. All right, so one other thing that we have that's coming up, we have a license meeting coming up. We also have a housing meeting coming up in February. You will get those announcements. I'm not going to say anything more because we have a long agenda. Chinese New Year's next Wednesday. The kids are off. Gong Hei Fat Choi, and Happy New Year.
Correspondence and communication, Milagros? Nothing, okay. And the treasurer's report, we'll be doing it next month, okay. Now let's move on to the committee reports. Now, before the committee report on the mapping, okay? We had a public hearing back on January 9th. And there were some issues with some community board members who spoke on the ULURP. The following three members, and I reviewed the video very, very carefully a few times. Pat O'Brien gave a comment. Maria Macavao asked a question, excuse me. Lucy Mahuika Diaz gave a comment. And Linda Harrison gave a comment. And this was against the bylaws that are in CB 13 that at public hearings, community board members can only ask questions and no comments. So I'm going to ask Lucy Mojica Diaz, will she relinquish her vote tonight?
Chairman Sanoff and members of the board. What I stated on January 9th was not an opinion. Wasn't an opinion, but I will relinquish my vote in order for these proceedings to move on. And I hope that my fellow members do the right thing. Thank you.
I have to tell you that Pat O'Brien also did make a comment, but he also emailed that he has relinquished his vote too. Now, Linda Harrison, I will ask you too to get it on the record. Will you relinquish your vote on tonight's ULURP?
I relinquish my vote.
Thank you. Okay, let's move on to the committee report. Sam?
Right.
Oh, yeah, got it.
Yes. Here. All right. Okay, we do have a pretty sensitive topic coming up. All right, thank you for the minutes, Barbara. All right, thank you everybody for coming this evening. We have a lot of testimonies, emotions, opinions, facts, data, and feelings about the issues. All right, the presentation, we had a beautiful presentation with the presenters. Talk about a job creation, $200 million trust fund, year round, and the economic boost. We've also had issues about Dino Wonder Wheel being blocked, history of a family-oriented place, crime, gambling addiction, and also traffic. So you heard both sides about the mapping. The committee we are on this together. The committee had meetings and they voted no. The committee voted no. There was seven, no.
Please.
Now, okay, what happened
No
is this,
clapping, please.
the committee votes, not the committee members vote. But the committee voted no, 7 no's, 2 yeses, 1 abstain. So
Okay,
we
since this was already a motion from the committee, we don't need the motion. We need to vote. We need discussion on the motion.
I move to amend. Listening to everything that's been going on from the yes and the no, and I know it's time sensitive for the next process. I move to amend, we put it to the side. No, do I need a mic? All right. Okay, I know everyone's gonna get upset. Now, I just learned some things this week that I didn't know before, like everyone's saying, there's a lot of new things going on. I know the committee said, so I move that we lay it to the side, or we voted in with conditions. We have the ability to do that. I don't feel, no, it's a motion. I know, ULURP is done, but I'm just asking, it's a one shot to do it, that's what I'm moving, no one seconded the day. But I just want to say that, that's it.
Well,
Thank you so much.
This is a ULURP process.
I know.
The committee vote votes and goes to both president, to the planning, the city council.
Thank you.
Any other discussions or?
No, let's take the vote.
So now,
On the motion that was.
There's no second, it died.
There is no second.
It died.
It's done.
Yeah, it died.
It's done.
Yeah, it died.
That's what I'm saying.
So-
Yeah.
what happens?
So let's take a vote on the motion. That was the motion that was at the land use committee.
Okay, so now it's make it clear what's gonna be happening now, right?
Okay?
If you're voting yes, you voted for the mapping, so you can vote yes, no, abstain, or recuse.
Okay.
You repeat the motion.
What's the question?
Chair, read the motion.
Sam, repeat the
Okay, the motion was, to be clear one more time. No, the motion was to approve. Okay, the motion was, let me read it one more time. Again, the motion was to approve a private application for the mapping action. Approval of the requested applicant, action would facilitate development of a 1.3 million square feet, gross square feet, multi-use development, including a gaming facility, convention center, hotel, event space, parking, and other amenities to the Coney Island neighborhood of Brooklyn. So the motion was to approve, one more time, I'll be clear. The motion was to approve the application. But now, when the motion came from the board, the committee itself, the committee voted no, which means that 7 said no, 2 said yes, and 1 said abstain. So now again, the motion is to approve. So if you vote yes, you're saying yes for the mapping. If you vote no, you're saying no for the mapping. Everybody's clear.
Yeah.
Okay, discussion.
Let's open it up for the motion to be discussed. Elena?
I don't know, probably I don't need a microphone, okay? And during the land use committee, actually, I would like first to thank for the presentation. It was very detailed, okay? And we have enough time to ask questions. Unfortunately, we received very few answers, okay? So,
But I want to start from something else. Everyone who is speaking during any kind of community board discussion, people usually start, what is Coney Island for them? I have never told this story publicly, but let me start from this story. On September 11, 1992, my family came to United States. My two daughters, my husband, and I. In 3 days, our relatives came to pick us up and promised us to show us something very nice and very American. And they brought us to Coney Island. The first picture I ever take in the United States, the first picture I ever sent to my parents who were there still, the first picture I sent to my friends were my kids standing next to Wonderbed. This is my Coney Island. This is Coney Island I cherish. This is Coney Island. This is my America. And coming up with the project that's going to destroy my Coney Island, I'm not going to let it go. Thank you. But let me say something very beautiful. I found flyer posted on Brighton Beach Avenue. Okay, flyer from casino people. Next time, please do not post on street furniture. It's illegal. Okay, I did not report it this time, but next time, Mark and I will report. Okay, so it has a lot of lines. Actually, it has changed. It used to be the first line was about job. Now the first line is about the promise, the golden promise of $200 million. Promise is promise. Okay, promise is promise. Until I see binding document, it's still a promise. After they talk about jobs. Probably I would never forget our public hearing when one of the board members asked about jobs. She asked very simple question. Tell me about jobs. What percentage of jobs local people will have? What the average pay, and on and on. We got two answers. The first answer was very PR answer. It's going to be great jobs, quality jobs. So 20 minutes later, they realized they did not give an answer. Somebody else came and said, it's going to be all union jobs, $30 per hour. So I'm expecting table to be placed on Surf Avenue with the sign for union, because it doesn't work this way. There are no jobs, any kind of jobs for $30 per hour. But I watch presentation developers did in city planning on December 16, 2024. This is part of racial equality report, okay, about upcoming jobs in gambling industry. It says anticipated job 3,772, average pay 25,000 per year. So I believe even first grader can count that $30 per hour would not give you 25,000 per year, okay? So great PR, great promise. But let me go back to this slide. Job training. This is kind of topic very special to me. Unfortunately, Alec Brukrasny left, and he would second that I drove him crazy with trade school. Everyone who knows me, they know I constantly speak about trade school in Coney Island. I spoke to all elected officials. I asked them to find an investor because it's a business. And I even said, because of my previous experience, I would volunteer to fill out all of the papers for the state education department, okay? But Alec Brukrasny, assemblyman, started conversation about job training 2 years ago. Nothing is being done. They said during the land use committee that they are planning to start construction in 2026. Do they need people to learn trade? They promised job for Coney Island. They promised so much. Where is the job training? Also, there are two, my favorite lines. More parking. Okay? More parking. In their own, I'm not lying, I'm not
How many,
lying.
Joe?
Yeah, more parking. In their own environmental study, they said it's gonna be about 1,000 cars looking for parking in addition to their garage.
Who's up next? Eddie Murphy?
Okay, thank you.
This is discussion.
Thank you. Elena.
One more line, okay?
One more line.
Yeah. Like, come on.
There's no cross conversation.
Okay.
Okay, no cross conversation.
Be careful.
And you can say, you can express your opinion next.
And we have someone who is advocating for casino all the time and talking about prosperity of businesses. Let me read something. Demand for food, services, entertainment, and other will be inside. Some businesses might be forced to relocate. Some local businesses might be forced to relocate because of higher rent and decline in demand. Thanks.
Okay. Sheila? No. We're going to the podium.
Good evening, everybody. I'm Sheila Smalls. Been out in Coney Island for more than 65 years. I've been to so many hearings, I can't tell you how many hearings that I've been to. Okay, a lot of people come here and talk about their Coney Island. I'm gonna tell you about my Coney Island, West End. Okay, the same West End where I didn't see none of y'all out there when they took away our Dwayne Reed. We don't even have a pharmacy. You understand? When they came over here, we had the Birthright, we had Madeline Jones, we had 3 Rite Aid, okay, sorry, we had 3 movie theaters and plenty of space for entertainment and social events. All of these things now are a thing of the past. Even this community board has to find a place for us to have meetings because they don't have a place. Okay, so we need to sit back and agree sometimes to disagree, to listen sometimes. And I want to correct that sister that got up here. I'm going to tell you about Dennis. Okay, my brother worked for him when he was 14 years old. Okay, so don't come here and saying that the people from the Wonder Wheel don't help the people in Coney Island because he does. Anytime I need anything, I go to them. I go, to all of the merchants that are in Coney Island, and we all have a very good relationship. So don't never say that he does not do, because Dennis does. Okay, I get offended when people stand up and lie, or they just don't know the truth. And the truth is, I've been here long enough to understand that we're being given an olive branch. What are y'all giving us? The ones that telling, don't do it, don't do it. You got some money?
Right.
What do you have for us?
Nothing.
We don't have anything for our children left behind. Okay? And we're talking about, well, developers, this is what we need. I'm going to tell you what I am. I am living proof that community agreements work. I've been a part of the Downtown Brooklyn Neighborhood Association for over 7 years and stood right next to Mr. Cohen from the baseball field in a suite right next to him that is owned by the company that I'm a part of. So don't say that things don't work, okay? Because you got all these big buildings, you ain't inviting nobody up in them.
No.
You understand? Okay, all we see is what are they giving us on the 15th Street?
No.
They built those big buildings. What they gave the community? What did they give it? Okay, so we voted against the shelter. You see it standing, don't you? The people not bothering nobody. We're saying we don't want this, but when you turn around, it's there. So please listen up. Everybody has an opinion. Let's respect one another enough to think. If we have an olive branch reach out and see what it's about before you say no. Because when you're saying no, you're closing the door on everything, and I don't see any other monies coming from anywhere else.
Thank you, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Any other further discussions in the community board?
Thank you.
Just really, yeah, really quickly. Really quick.
Truth to power.
I was born and raised here in Brooklyn. My family comes from Brownsville. The one thing that I can't ignore, I live in the Brighton Beach part of the community. They don't want for anything. I can get anything I want on Brighton First, Ocean Parkway. I can get anything I need. When I walk into Coney Island, I can't even get back from the West 30s. I had to walk on Neptune Avenue one time. I couldn't. 36 didn't come.
That's right.
And I'm disabled. My accessory right didn't come. So I'm listening to the people that live in Coney Island. What do they have? And when you say no again, that's why I wanted to put it to the side and give it more thought. If they're going to bring money into the community, there has to be, wait, see, shaking your head. They fixed the things in Cary Garden. Yes. The basketball court, no? No. Someone says yes, someone says no.
Yes.
They're helping out at the school Liberation and Our Lady of Solace, they're putting water fountains in. Is that yes?
Yes.
All right. I didn't know these things until I investigated it. So the only thing I want to say to you is I'm really concerned about the folks who look like me who's been living in Coney Island. I come from Brownsville. Brownsville and Coney Island never had high school. And when I was on the education meeting, I said, if they put a tech school in Coney Island, it'd be great. So the same thing in Brownsville. I really have some druthers about this. And I just can't just say no, if that $200 million is a promise or it's real. I don't have $200 million.
No.
So that's all I have to say, it's too much to just say no right away. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, and have nothing. 6,000. Have nothing.
Yeah.
When the vote for.
Eddie. Excuse me. I guess I'm the last person that's going to be speaking from
I
the.
raised my hand here.
I didn't see you.
Stand up, Lucy.
Okay. I didn't see you. I'm gonna be speaking on a different type of level to everybody here. I'm speaking to the parents here. I'm speaking to the grandparents here. I'm speaking to their kids that are gonna be here. I have lived in the area in Seagate and Brighton Beach for almost 50 years. The kids from Lincoln High School and from Grady, they tend to gather at the Dunkin' Donuts, okay, on Neptune Avenue, and there's always been a problem over there. So what these kids are gonna do now, if there's a casino built, they're gonna be going to the casino. They'll be tapping out their parents' debit cards, their credit cards, okay? No, please, I've had personal experience with this, okay? Okay, I've had personal experience with this here, okay? So, as a chairperson of CB 13, I don't wanna leave a legacy, okay, of this type of predatory gambling for the youth. Thank you. Lucy, go ahead.
Well, you can take away my vote, you can't take away my mouth. And many know me that won't happen. I want to remind you people, I was chair here a few years ago. Our sick, thank you very much, I love you too. Our sister agencies have not seen any type of increase. Parks Department, Fire Department, Police Department, Sanitation Department, to hold the amount of people that they want to bring to this community. With the little benefits that we do receive from the city agencies to be able to do that, you guys are out here all the time talking about the illegal vendors. Illegal vendors will be increasing, okay? Because we haven't stopped them. Excuse me, I read off my notes. So I also want to repeat once again, the taxes. I am a property owner, okay? And while it's not gonna happen today, it's not gonna happen tomorrow, it's probably not gonna happen the first year. But my property taxes will go up. We have seniors here that many, not I, because I plan to sell my house in a few years because of other reasons. But we have seniors that don't want to leave their property and choose to stay there and give it to their grandchildren and move on from there. They're not gonna be able to do that because their property taxes are gonna increase. We have been hitting with one of the highest flood insurances in this community. Now, let's not speak about me just being a homeowner. We're talking about people that rent to the people here too. Their property taxes will go up. And we also have a high rate of illegal people renting here. So because they don't have a lease, your rent will go up. So now we want to talk about the housing people that keep saying this is not going to affect me whatsoever. But if you're going to get a job for $12, your income is going to increase and your rent is going to increase, okay? Well, I'm just making a point. It's not so what I'm making a point. The same way you did.
Conversation, please.
Where do you get free drinks? Where do you get free food? Where do you get free hotels? Where do you lose your money? A casino. Keep in mind, Thorn Equities has been here for years. Across the street, they have an abandoned lot for 15 years. I mention this at every meeting. Build something on that lot and give it to the people in this community that will work harder for you than anyone else. But they haven't. I asked at every meeting, what is your plan B if you don't receive the license? No type of response to me. So, what could it bring to the community? Why they haven't responded? Because it will only bring billions to them. It won't bring billions to the community. Our high school rate, I was at a meeting in the education committee, I can't remember how long it was, maybe a few months. And they brought a woman that said, she said, you know, our high school rate in this community is low. So if it's low, these children are gonna think that this is a way out to go and gamble. And maybe make a couple of dollars. Yes, you are. And I say these things, and let me finish before I, with them. I say these things because I do go to casinos. And I gamble, and I enjoy that time. But I also place my, like Mr. Jeff said, I place my credit card in there. And the interest rate is not 16%, it's about 24%. And when you can't pay that at the age of 18, let me finish. At the age of 18, your credit score will be in hell. And we all know that it's not when I was young, or most of us were young. You go to an apartment, you give them the 1 month security, you give them your 1 month rent, and you got an apartment. Without a decent credit score, you will not be able to move forward. So I please beg my fellow members to vote no for this mapping.
Jeff? I'd like to say something since Lucy was allowed to say something, otherwise I was gonna stay quiet. Thanks, okay. All right.
All right. I'm firmly against the county interfering in our neighborhood. Unless these extraordinarily rich people who claim they're giving us $200 million put together an enforceable community agreement that will include at least my 6 points, and there'll be some other things I'm sure as well. I want them to fund all the public schools on the Coney Island Peninsula at the same rate as the closest charter school here in our neighborhood. This means looking at the charter school's most recent 990 and find out how much was donated that year, and then donate that amount to every school on the peninsula. That's my first point. My second point is provide a paid membership for anyone who lives on a peninsula who wants to join the YMCA for every year that the casino operates in this neighborhood. During COVID, the YMCA shut down. Paying for membership for anyone who lives here by the casino will prevent that YMCA ever shutting down again, no matter what the next catastrophe is. 3, provide funding to all the tenants associations on the peninsula in the amount that both the Coney and the tenant associations, agree to. And paying, and keeping that going for as long as the Coney Island, the Coney operates here in the neighborhood. 4, fund local libraries on this peninsula so that they can have additional hours and additional technologies that will provide all the residents in our community with state-of-the-art services as long as the casinos operate here. And 5, completely fund the business improvement districts along Mermaid Avenue and Cirque Avenue so that none of the local merchants have to use any of their hard-earned income to improve the streets that they operate on. This will be a wonderful gesture for the Coney to enhance the merchants of Cirque and Mermaid Avenue by not having to share any of the costs. And 6, you gotta agree in an enforceable agreement that you will pay for all our legal costs if you agree to it in writing and then you don't follow through.
Sounds good.
Okay, so, and a clarifying point, the neighborhoods I consider the peninsula is Brighton, Coney, and Seagate.
No, Coney.
And, yeah. And a final opinion, I think the Coney casinos would be insane not to accept an enforceable community trust where you're telling us how the money will be spent in advance of appointing those 6 people who will be political stoolies, and if we don't get the agreement in writing in advance, that's enforceable. And if we can get that, first of all, I think you have a much better chance of getting a license. And 2, that's something I can support, but right now I'm totally against it. Just wanted to share that.
Thank you, Patrick. Okay,
Oh, thanks.
Sam,
Okay,
let's go over it one more time.
So one more time, just to clarify. Oh, I'm sorry, there's something, oh, Batista. Elisa.
Hello, to speak, but I am gonna say this. Those I know knew that I was against the casino, right? And I said I wanted to speak, so I sat down and I spoke with them. The problem with the other side, you guys keep screaming out, no, 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 but you guys are not trying to have a conversation to see what you can get out of this. Now, with that, give me my respect, let me speak, thank you. So now with that being said, this $200 million, that conversation, that was a conversation I had with them. So that's proof that when you have a conversation, they're gonna try to listen. They might tweak it a little bit, but they might listen. What I said was you should take a board of 9 people. You guys can pick 4 and take 6 local residents from Coney Island, put them on this board, create some sort of RFP, and then put some money in there and let the board decide what nonprofits and who gets that money. But they came out with this $200 million idea. Cool, they tweaked it, but it still works. It's a start. Now, you guys keep saying that the local businesses are gonna hurt. But let's be real, let's stop playing the games. What tourist gets off on Stillwell and says, well, gosh, let me walk down Mermaid Avenue and go down and let me shop at the grocery store, let me get a haircut. No tourist does that. They get off.
Cross conversations, please.
They get off and they cross the street. The only grocery store that they go to is the one right across the street from Dunkin' Donuts. They got the dollar beers, that's it. And then they walk across the street. So let's cut that out. Now, did you guys bother to ask the small businesses like Bucket that's across the street from where it's gonna be built, what they feel about it? Because they're for it. But you guys are saying that you guys got 7,000 signatures of people. Well, if only we can get 7,000, if you really got 7,000 people that are from Coney Island, if you can only get those people to come out and vote and turn this 4% voting rate into an 83% and more. So if you got 7,000 people, man, if they can vote, if only they can vote, if only they can support one of theirs, doesn't happen. So if you got 7,000, cool. So that's what I have to say. Give them an opportunity to have a conversation. I wasn't 100% like, yeah, they know this. I have conversations with them. They know where I stand. They know that I don't like casinos. Some of you, like Lucy said, you go to casinos. So what I have to say about that is, so if you don't like to kill people in your community, but then you go to East New York and you kill somebody, you're a hypocrite. Same concept. And that's
No cross conversations, please. Okay? Okay, no cross conversations, please.
No cross conversations.
Any,
No cross
Sam,
conversations.
comments? Sam, Angela?
Yes, all the questions.
No, the comments? All right, again, to be clear, the committee met. We heard the presentation, the committee voted no. 7 no's, 2 yeses, 1 abstain. So now we're gonna vote as a community board, which is if you vote yes, you vote yes for the mapping. If you vote no, you vote no for the mapping, and abstain, recuse depending on circumstances. Barbara?
Call the vote. Call the last, please.
Anthony Batista. Guys, you're gonna have to talk up. My voice is great. My hearing is going slow.
Yes.
Thank you. Anitria Brown. Yes. Gabriel Blinda. Lakeisha Bowers. Patricia Brown. No. Deborah Carter. Yes. Marion Cleaver. Joe Perez. No. Charlene Davis. No. Lucy Mujica Diaz.
I can't vote. It's okay. I'm good, you know what I mean.
Lolita DeVilova.
No.
Jennifer Dublin. No. Mohammed El Nagar. No. Olga Fort. No. Taj Graham.
Taj? He's here. What do you vote? I can't hear you.
Can I pass?
Yes. Yeah, he's abstaining.
No, stay.
Okay.
Yes.
Want me to come back to them?
No, he abstained.
I'm not afraid.
Can't vote no.
Selena Grant.
No.
Ronald Greenberg.
Yes.
Hugh Hanif.
No.
Linda Harrison.
Relinquished.
Jeannie Hernandez.
No, those streets are for our people, not.
No speeches, just the yes or no, please.
Rory Kragner.
No.
Angela Kravchenko.
No.
Yelena Machnin.
No.
Minnie Mantita.
No.
Mark Murdock.
No.
Maria Montalvo.
No.
Alan Newman.
Yes.
Pat O'Brien.
He can't relinquish his vote.
Robin Harrison.
Abstain.
Nadra
Yes.
Milagros Plus. Sam Rakowski.
No.
Leonard Maurice Robinson.
Yes.
Michael Russo.
Yes.
Fran Schwartz. Tatiana Siegel.
No.
Pervez Siddiqui.
No.
Michael Silverman.
Abstain.
Sheila Smalls.
Yes.
Ladislav Spector.
Abstain.
Jack Subin.
Yes.
Dennis Federic.
No.
Joanna Weiss.
No.
Annette Wesley.
Yes.
Svetlana Zelenskaya.
No.
Jeff Sanoff.
No.
Now we're gonna tell it, I'm sorry.
Okay, let's move on to the next land use. Sam?
The next land use was a little different. It was a building on an avenue between 22nd Street and 23rd Street, but the wing shelter. It was pretty much to rezone the area, the entire block. Put an 18-story building, which are 145 apartments. By the way, Bob, take for the minutes. They're here, but they were emailed to you. Now, the rents would be for like pretty much one bedroom, so vary between 1150 to 2250 per month. It's a flood area. The committee made a motion. Are they here? I don't know if they're here or not. Okay, the committee made a motion. Oh, they cannot speak, even better. Okay, the committee made a motion, which means motion to approve the application with recommendations. Permeable paver, which means the paver that the water drains through, rain garden, green roof, rental of the community space for local nonprofit organizations, and traffic study. Traffic study actually very interesting what happened in the meeting. You know, usually what happened was we've been asked, was the traffic study done? They go, yes, it was done. But obviously we had shop members ask, when was it done? You know? Okay, when was it done? So we got back to you, but you guys, you know, we got back to you that we got back to you phrase I heard many times before. We get back, which means kind of forget about it, hear about it, you know, God knows when. So we let more time. It turns out they have a future traffic study. But from now on, that's the reason why we had the traffic study recommendation. So anyways, the motion was made to approve the application. 5 voted in favor, 1 opposed. Any discussion of the motion?
Oh, discuss the motion, Joanne?
I just want to say one thing. That Surf Avenue, on any given day during the summer, it's a disaster. On any given day during the school year with the buses are a disaster. And to put in an 18-story building and more cars and more parking is going to be a disaster.
Any other discussion? Lakeisha?
Even when they talk about recommendations, Jeff brought up about employment opportunity. Before we talk about employment opportunity verbally, but nothing is ever written to hold them accountable. I think that should be held in this,
So you want to make an amendment to the motion?
Which is, what do you want to do with there?
job opportunity for qualified residents.
Job, I mean,
You can't hear her.
job. Oh, you're here. Oh, good to see you again. Job, what,
There's no presentation.
I mean,
There's no presentation happening. No, someone, Lakeisha wants to make an amendment to the motion.
See, what do you want to add on? We can.
Employment
Job.
opportunities for qualified residents of Wilmington, to be specific.
You need a second for that, right? Okay.
Recommendation.
Okay, on the vote on it, okay, so let's. Sam,
No.
Which one?
Sam,
Sam.
Yes.
Sam.
listen,
Yes.
okay, there's an amendment to the original motion, okay?
Adding
So,
the.
okay, we have a second on it.
Excuse me, that's out of order right now, okay, so if you
Please,
just back away.
There's there's no presentation no more. You did your presentation already. You did your presentation, okay? Sam, you have the amendment?
Yes.
Yes,
So we're gonna add on whatever Keisha Bauer said.
we already had a second on it.
Oh, sorry.
Amend that you learned. Either it goes through
No, no.
and up the food chain or it doesn't.
No, these are.
So amendments.
Okay, so we just turned,
No meaning.
okay, so you are, Lakeisha, even though it's a good thought, we can't do it. Okay, according to the parliamentarian.
So how did they put the recommendations in when the committee had a meeting?
That was different because the motion was being made at that time. The motion was being made at that time. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, okay, so now, Sam?
Yes, so again, discussion, please.
Yeah.
Also at the meeting,
there was a concern about the residents that were across from there. Concerns, and it seems that one was said that she was misinformed or there was some question about that. So I know Ida spoke about how if we open up the window so that they can make this change, it's open to any new developer coming in about who's coming to the board.
There's no amendment there.
It was discussed. It was discussed by the
Yes,
presenter.
but it's my understanding that it opens up Pandora's window when you open it up like this so that any developer.
Right, so you can vote it down.
You asked what you said discussion, I'm giving.
Yeah, I understand that, I understand.
Discussion of.
Well, I understand that. What?
You asked for a discussion of the motion.
Right.
I believe
Okay.
Lucy has her hand up. Yes.
Okay. Barbara,
Lucy? You want Lucy's hand up or just?
the vote, yes.
Lucy, you want to speak or?
Sam. pay attention.
Okay, on the GMAP, on the motion for GMAP, it was 11 in favor, 24 opposed, 8 abstentions. And the 3 that couldn't vote.
So have a little decorum there, please. Okay. Yes. No, we just don't need the motion, that was. Call it.
Yeah, second, yeah, second.
Okay, so going back to the. On Neptune Avenue, next to Wayne Building, to do the development there. Any other discussion at, Lucy?
I'm asking the chairman to let the people, the public know what happens after this, because it's obviously they don't come to these meetings, because I've been doing it for 30 years. So I would like you to explain what happens after this vote, sir.
Okay, after this vote, we will be sending the vote and all comments to, first, I think it's the Borough Hall, okay? So, please turn on the lights. Okay, city planning, okay, and people can still send in their comments, okay, to the CB office, okay? And it will all be given to the city planning, okay? Thank you.
All right, so back to the, right now we're gonna vote on this project of motion. One last time.
Quiet, please.
We're voting.
Quiet, we're almost at the end.
Again, same way, voting yes, you're voting yes.
Discussion is closed.
Discussion closed. Oh, you let Lucy again?
Matter, the new matter?
Yes,
Who closed it?
I closed it.
All right,
Okay,
Closed discussion.
yes.
thanks for coming. It's, discussion is very close. Again, you're voting yes for it. No, you're going no against it. Abstain, recuse, depends on the circumstances. Barbara?
Call it.
They know what they're voting on?
Oh, I'm sorry. Well,
Yes, the approve.
committee, yeah, committee recommended yes.
The building.
Second.
All right. With the recommendations.
Okay, let's go. Barbara?
Anthony Batista.
Yes.
Anitra Brown.
Yeah, that is the important part.
Gabriel Winter. Keisha Bowers.
Yes.
Patricia Brown.
No.
Deborah Carter. Marion Cleaver.
Yes.
Joe Carey. Yes. Charlene Davis. Lucy Monica Diaz.
No.
Lolita Jibalova.
Yes.
Jennifer Dublin.
No.
Mohammed El Nagar.
Yes.
Aldo Ford.
Okay.
Aldo.
Olga?
Yes.
Selena Grant. Ronald Greenberg.
Yes.
Nurum Hanif.
No.
Linda Harrison. No. Vinnie Hernandez. Yuri Krasner.
No.
Angela Kravchenko. Elena Markman. Minnie Nikita. Moss Martin.
No.
Maria Montalvo.
No.
Alan Newman.
Yes.
Pat O'Brien. Robin Patterson.
Yeah.
Madron.
Yes.
Douglas Willis. Sam Rutkowski.
Yeah.
Lynn Marie Roberts.
Yes.
Michael Russo.
Yes.
Jeffrey Sandor.
No.
Fran Schwartz. Tatiana Seagos.
Yes.
Rebecca Eagle. Michael Silverman.
Yes.
Sheila Small. No. Ladislav Spector.
Yes.
Jack Subin.
Yes.
Dennis Medeiros.
Yes.
Joanne White.
No.
Annette Wesley.
Yes. No.
Spent lots of time tonight.
Okay, that's it. Next, the licensing committee. Elena?
No, I know.
He's out smoking.
Very nice.
That's all. You're gonna be the final roll call. You're next. You're next.
Do business, no business, we don't do it, we are not doing it.
Okay, any new business? Any old business? No. Okay, Elena, you're on.
Good evening again. First and foremost, I would like to thank members of the BET Committee of Community Board 13 Licensing Committee. We always have good time. Thank you very much, everybody. So we have one license. Yeah, not, we can, I bring all samples, so, okay. Inviting all guests, I always bring some sweets, okay? We have one application and we have some renewal. So we have new application for a new full legal license application for advanced restaurant located at 241 Brighton Beach Avenue, Brooklyn, New York, 11235. It's a mistake. Okay. Committee voted in favor. It was a motion made by Michael Silverman, seconded by yours truly. Yes in favor, 0 opposed, 0 abstention. We also have, before we vote, we also have some FYIs, like renewals. One is for Tashika Corp, it's a Japanese restaurant, 3083 Brighton First Place. Renewal wine, beer insider, Yumi Sushi, also Japanese restaurant, Brighton, 215 Brighton Beach Avenue. Renewal full liquor license, Sopna Light Cafe, TB Aleand Restaurant, 410 Brighton Beach Avenue. Renewal beer insider, DSH Restaurant, Story 59 West 12th Street, Brooklyn, New York. Renewal beer insider, Voodoo Food Court, DBI Dinner Snacks, Bar Familia Pizzeria, 1025 Boardwalk, Brooklyn, 11224. A renewal for a full liquor license, Zaza Borov Inc. It's a Banya, it's a Russian bed in Seagate. It's 3701, 3703 Mermaid Avenue. FYI again, we do not vote on renewals. It's just FYI for community board. If you have something to say, we did not send letters to liquor authority yet. We were waiting for the full board meeting in case somebody has to say something. So now, Barbara, roll call for renew. Wait a minute, wait.
That's the first one, right? The license, right?
No, wait a minute. We also have something, okay. As you know, if you don't know, now you know. In order, in order to have all of those road or sidewalk, okay, it's a new procedure by DOT, okay? So people have to apply and community board has an opinion. We spoke to DOT office. We were told we don't have to vote on it. We have to discuss it during committee. And
Jeff, can you just tell them to keep it quiet?
Please,
okay.
please,
It's
take it outside if you have a conversation as per the rules. Thank you.
the dining out on Neptune Avenue. We made some comments. We cited their design. And I would like to thank Michael Silverman for helping us to put this comment together. Thank you, Mike. So it's also FYI. Such recommendations do not require vote. So now roll call.
Yeah, just one, before the roll call. Barbara, give the account on the,
Okay, on the Neptune Avenue, in favor 29, opposed 15, abstentions 2.
thank you. You ready? Okay. Call me Liz.
Restate the question.
What are we voting on?
Restate the question. License. And fine.
Elena, we need you up front here.
It's not a comment. It doesn't matter. I see the state.
Please,
So, okay.
please repeat what we're voting on. Thank you.
For a new liquor license application, full liquor license, Anwar Restaurant, located on 241 Brighton Beach Avenue, Brooklyn, New York, 11235. It was approved unanimously by committee. It's, even though it's a new establishment, but it's a second establishment for the same gentleman, so we have no complaints.
The vote separate?
No, only one. Okay, renewals, we do not vote. Okay.
On the left.
You ready?
Yes, we're ready. Thank you.
PNAs are going backwards. Svetlana James.
Yes.
Annette Wesley. Yes. Joanne White.
Yes.
Jennifer Garrett.
Yes.
Jack Philbin.
Jack Subin?
Yeah.
Joe Small.
Well.
Sheila.
Michael Silverman.
Yes.
Professor Eagles. Tatiana Siegel. Fran Moore. Michael Russo.
Yes.
Maureen, Lenny Murphy Roberts.
Yes.
Cameron Costa. Margot Quillen. Natra. Robin Harrison. Adam Bryant. Alan Newman.
Yes.
Maria Montalvo.
No.
Mark Murray.
Yes, and good night.
We need to.
Sorry, you know, I
You're late about it.
Yeah.
Angela Checker.
Oh.
Yeah.
Jean Hernandez. Karen Honey. Ronald Greenberg. Yeah. Selena Grant. Raj Graham. Aldo Ford. Mohammed Ahmedar. Yes. Jennifer Douglas. Rosita Digalova. Rita Diaz. Abstaining. Joe Parade. Yes. Jennifer Carter.
Deborah Carter? Abstain. Demetrius, wow.
Yes, good night.
Yes. And again, a motion to amend. Motion to close. Go ahead, second. Second, okay. I wanna thank everybody for cooperating pretty much, I would say 90% of the time. Okay, you gave a lot of grace to this community board tonight, and I wanna thank the men and women at the 6-0, the Greg, give them a hand, auxiliaries, NCOs, Inspector Smirnov, everyone who's involved with that position.
And also the hospital police too.
And the hospital.
Yeah.
And the hospital
Thank you.
too. Vincent, you're a gem, Vincent.
Thank you very much. Oh, and auxiliary.
And auxiliary, I did say auxiliary. I did.